June 23, 1985, a day that would go down in history as one of the darkest in aviation, when Air India Flight 182 was torn apart mid-air by a bomb. This flight, a Boeing 747 named Kanishka, was on a routine journey from Montreal, Canada to Delhi, India, with a scheduled stopover in London. The plane was brimming with passengers, 329 people from all walks of life, each with their own stories, dreams, and destinations. Little did they know, the journey they had embarked upon would not culminate in the bustling terminals of Indira Gandhi International Airport, but in the cold, crushing depths of the Atlantic Ocean off the coast of Ireland. A bomb, planted with sinister intent by Sikh extremists, ripped through the heart of the aircraft, tearing it apart in a horrifying explosion. The immediate aftermath was a scene of chaos and devastation. As news of the catastrophe reached the world, a profound sense of shock and grief took hold. Emergency services rushed to the scene, but their efforts were in vain. The Atlantic, once a symbol of exploration and discovery, had become a watery grave for the victims of this heinous act. In the wake of the disaster, a grim reality dawned. The skies, once a symbol of freedom and adventure, had become a new frontier for terror. The incident served as a chilling reminder of the vulnerability of air travel to the malignant intents of those who seek to cause harm and spread fear. In an instant, 329 lives were lost, and the world was left to grapple with a new kind of fear. Behind this horrific act was a sinister plot fueled by religious extremism and political strife. The bomb that tore through Air India Flight 182 was not an act of random violence, but a calculated move in a deadly game of political chess. The perpetrators were Sikh extremists, their motivations rooted in a deep-seated desire for an independent Sikh nation, Khalistan. The Sikh separatist movement, known as the Khalistan movement, was a potent force in the late 20th century, particularly in the Punjab region of India. The Sikh community, with its unique religious and cultural identity, had long harbored grievances against the Indian government. The push for an independent Khalistan was their answer to these perceived injustices. But the Khalistan movement wasn't confined to India. It found fertile ground among the Sikh diaspora in Canada, which led to tensions between the two nations. Canada became a haven for Sikh separatists, and India accused it of sheltering extremists. The assassination of Sikh separatist leader Hardeep Singh Nijjar, allegedly by Indian operatives, further escalated these tensions. The extremists who planted the bomb on Flight 182 were part of this wider global network of Sikh separatism. Their act of terror was a chilling statement of their resolve to fight for Khalistan, regardless of the cost. The lives of the 329 people on board that flight were sacrificed for their cause. But the loss of these innocent lives did nothing to further their cause. Instead, it highlighted the deadly consequences of religious extremism and political strife. It showed how the desire for self-determination could be twisted into a justification for mass murder. The terror in the skies was a grim reminder of the vulnerability of air travel to terrorist acts. But it was also a stark warning of the dangers of extremism and the lengths to which some will go to achieve their political goals. In the wake of the tragedy, an extensive international investigation was launched. Interpol, along with Canadian, Indian, and Irish authorities, embarked on a relentless pursuit of truth, leaving no stone unturned. Unraveling the twisted threads of this horrific act led them to a chilling discovery: the fingerprints of Sikh extremism. The investigation revealed a meticulously planned act of terror traced back to the Baba Khalsa, a Sikh extremist group based in Canada. The clues were scattered, yet pointed in the same direction: a suitcase filled with explosives, a tape recorder, and a ticket bought under a false name. But the most damning evidence was a piece of baggage that never made it onto another flight. Its contents eerily similar to those that brought down Flight 182. This international nature of the incident, however, didn't make the investigation any easier. The differing legal systems, jurisdictional boundaries, and the sheer geographical distance between the involved nations posed significant challenges. Yet the need for justice united them all. The trials that ensued were a testament to the resilience of the global community. The masterminds behind the attack, Inderjit Singh Rayat, Ripudaman Singh Malik, and Ajaib Singh Bagri, were brought to the stand. Rayat was the only one convicted, pleading guilty to manslaughter in 2003 and received a 5-year sentence. Despite these efforts, the trials were marked by controversy and frustration. The acquittal of Malik and Bagri left many with a bitter taste of unfinished justice. The complexities of the international legal system, coupled with the passage of nearly 2 decades, had seemingly blurred the lines of accountability. While justice was sought, it couldn't bring back the 329 lives lost. The devastating attack on Air India Flight 182 left a lasting impact on aviation security worldwide. In the wake of the disaster, the world was jolted into a stark realization. Air travel, seen as a symbol of human achievement, had become a target for acts of terror. Governments and aviation authorities around the globe took a hard look at their existing security measures, grappling with the daunting task of safeguarding the skies. The incident served as a catalyst for stringent changes in the field of aviation security. Checks at airports became more thorough and exhaustive. Baggage screening technologies were significantly advanced, and the rules surrounding what passengers could carry on board were tightened. Airlines started to maintain a detailed record of their passengers, a practice that continues to this day. Yet even with these improvements, the challenges of ensuring aviation security in an increasingly volatile world persist. As technology evolves, so do the methods employed by those who wish to cause harm. Cybersecurity has emerged as a new frontier in aviation safety, with concerns over the potential for digital interference with aircraft systems. Moreover, the incident underscored the importance of international cooperation in combating terrorism. The attack on Flight 182 was not just an attack on India or Canada, but an attack on the international community. It highlighted the brutal reality that terrorism knows no borders, and thus the fight against it must also transcend national boundaries. While we have made strides in enhancing aviation security, the memory of Flight 182 serves as a stark reminder of the work that remains. It is a call to action for continuous improvement, for never becoming complacent in our efforts to ensure the safety of air travel. The legacy of Flight 182 is not merely one of tragedy, but also of transformation. It's a story of how a horrific event can lead to profound change, how from the ashes of disaster can rise a commitment to safety and security that benefits us all. The legacy of Flight 182 is a world more aware yet more fearful of the skies. In the midst of the terror and the politics, we must not forget the human cost of this tragedy. The lives lost on Air India Flight 182 were not just numbers, but stories cut short. They were mothers and fathers, sons and daughters, friends and colleagues, each one a unique individual, each one a loss deeply felt. The impact of their loss was felt far beyond the immediate families. Entire communities were left devastated, grappling with the gaping void left by their absence. Schools lost students, workplaces lost employees, and neighborhoods lost familiar faces. The ripple effect of their loss was profound, touching the lives of countless others. In the wake of the tragedy, their memories live on in the hearts of those who knew and loved them. Their names are etched in stone at memorials across the globe, from Canada to India, serving as a testament to their lives and the love they left behind. Every year on the anniversary of the tragedy, candles are lit, flowers are laid, and prayers are said in their honor. These rituals, though they cannot fill the void left by their absence, offer a form of solace, a way to remember and honor the lives that were so cruelly taken away. The pain of their loss also served as a catalyst for change. It sparked a renewed commitment to aviation security, a dedication to ensuring that such a tragedy is never repeated. It served as a wake-up call to the global community, highlighting the urgent need for vigilance against hatred and extremism. And yet, in remembering these victims, we must also confront the uncomfortable reality that their lives were taken not by some faceless enemy, but by fellow human beings. This tragedy was born out of hatred and extremism, a stark reminder of the damage that such ideologies can inflict. The memory of Flight 182 serves as a stark reminder of the price of hatred and extremism. Let us remember the victims not just for the way they died, but for the way they lived. Let their memory inspire us to strive for a world that is free from hatred, a world where such tragedies are a thing of the past.